What exactly happened here in Peachtree-City is still a mystery. The 17-year-old's family found his golf cart on the edge of this golf cart path just inside the wooded area there. Now police are trying to piece together how his golf cart ended up there and his body ended up on nearby Highway 74. Just before 11:30 Thursday night, someone made a tragic discovery. They found an injured teenager laying on the southbound lanes of Highway 74 near the intersection with Pascal Drive. A Peachtree-City police spokeswoman identified the boy as 17-year-old Christopher Babylonia and say he later died at the hospital. Lieutenant Odelia Berg says how the teen ended up on the roadway is unknown as police have no witnesses.
So we're desperately asking for any assistance of anybody who may have seen the golf cart accident or how he ended up in the roadway, or if any motorist remembers seeing anything or feeling anything. It's really important that they reach out and talk to us.
Last night, after being called by police, the teen's family found his golf cart in a wooded area next to the highway. His body was found directly across the roadway from the cart in the furthest lane. The woods are next to Highway 74 and about a mile from the family's home. Then today, police began looking at a cart's tire tracks, which go off a nearby path toward a retaining wall and then into the woods. Investigators also found what they believe are fibers, possibly from blue jeans on the retaining wall, which could be from the teen. And then on Highway 74, there are skid marks in the area where police found Babylonia's body. How everything connects and if the marks on the highway will be part of this investigation is to be determined.
Initially, we thought that it was, so we want to make sure we preserve that. We're waiting for daylight to confirm whether or not those skids are old. We'll use some stop data from other car stops and see if those skid marks are old or fresh.
Berg says there are no traffic cameras in the area and they are trying to determine how the teen might have been injured.
The golf cart seems to be in good condition. No significant damage that we can see.
But police have described his injuries as serious and consistent with being hit by a vehicle.
And being that he's so young, it obviously concerns everybody and it's really difficult.
In Peachtree City, I'm Joe Henke, 11 Alive News.